So welcome to part two. So now we're going to get into more of the nuts and bolts of the class. So obviously, what do you need to bring? The usual, right? You need something to write with, you need something to write on, and then you'll need your Chromebook, right? And it needs to be fully charged. One of the things I'm going to do in terms of class participation is going to be, an automatic points if you have your Chromebook fully charged, ready to go. So you'll get an automatic 3 points. If you need to move your seat to plug it in and you bring your own charger, then you'll get 2 out of 3. If you need to borrow a charger, but you're still able to function in class and we don't lose too much instructional time with you, then you'll get 1 out of 3. If you forget your Chromebook altogether, 0 out of 3. If you're able to kind of make do with your phone and not lose the day, then I'll bump you into that 1 out of 3. But just come fully charged, and then we don't have to worry about it. But those will factor into participation points just to kind of keep you honest and make sure you're doing what you need to do and you're bringing what you need to bring so that we can have the kind of class I want us to have. In terms of apps, you'll have some extensions on your Chromebook that will add. If you want to use your phone, I would suggest downloading apps like VoiceThread, the Canvas Student app, Flipgrid. Definitely want to download Google Drive and possibly Google Docs and Google Slides for your phone. And Quizlet would be a good option as well. I'll offer a lot of flashcard sets that are already pre-made. And what's really nice about Quizlet is if you need help with pronunciation, they'll actually say it with Spanish pronunciation. So there's a lot of great apps, and we'll talk more as we kind of need them. But that might be somewhere to kind of get started. Resources, I mean, everything you're going to need is going to be in Canvas. So Canvas is going to be your one-stop shop. It's our learning management system, aka virtual classroom. So I'll have a link to our textbook. You're already enrolled, so when you go to that link, you're just going to sign in with your school email all the way through the @ojrst.net. That'll be your username, and then your password will actually be your 6-digit student ID. And then you'll see the orange textbook. You can go to any page in the textbook. There's all sorts of tabs and resources, so feel free to click around. We'll be looking at the news and networking and some of the current event articles as we kind of go through our different stations, especially for reading. But Canvas will definitely be the number one go-to for that. Let me kind of just give you a moment of what our Canvas course will look like. So whether you're in my honors or my college prep, the front page is pretty much the same. What you're going to notice is there'll be a little banner there showing Toledo, which is one of my favorite cities in Spain to visit. And then below will be embedded a Google slide. And it's going to just be our daily agenda. So you'll actually have the ability to kind of go through the slides. So you'll kind of have a record of the whole year. So by the end, there'll be 180 slides because there's 180 school days. And I'll even put in links here to go right to your assignments, especially if I'm going to have you turn something in on Canvas. I might have you take photos of stuff, or I might have you actually just do the assignment in a discussion. There's a bunch of different things we might do with that. So I'll put any links in there as you need them to kind of keep things easy. You'll also notice to the right, you'll have a to-do list with assignments here, but like I said, I'll link them in here as well, just to make sure that, no matter what, you're able to get there several different ways. And then on the left, you'll have a little navigation menu, and these are some of the options. At the bottom, there's a couple links. Right, there's a link to our online textbook where you'll put in your username and password. There's a link to Duolingo. Should you want to get some extra enrichment, you'll actually have to click on this blue link to open it in a new tab, and then it'll pop up for you, and you can sign in. Do what you need to do there. So we'll be using a lot of other resources within that. And then there's some national Spanish exam that should actually open up within the window for us so that you'll be able to kind of look up in case you want to prep for the exam. That usually takes place in the spring. And I've had a lot of students get gold and silver. And so it's a pretty nice national accolade to have. Right? Our syllabus will be here. I'll post announcements here. So you'll just have a lot of opportunity to kind of click around and see what it's about. Right, your grades will be posted here. Then they'll be transferred over to Skyward because Skyward is like the end-all, be-all. Canvas is just sort of the holding place until I finalize. And once I finalize, that's where you'll see them in Skyward. All right. So again, Canvas will be a huge part of this for us. So going back to wherever we left off here, grades, right? Obviously, the 70%, those are the things that happen later in a unit, right? So as we work through our stations, I want to build a culture where you realize that you have to fail, right? And that's a hard thing to know, but when we're going through our class participation, you're going to stumble a little bit. It's like riding a bike. You're not going to hop on a bike and win the Tour de France, right? You're going to have training wheels. You're going to fall. You're going to scrape your knee. All of that stuff is going to happen metaphorically within the language. So you need to be comfortable. All of those participation and classwork activities, that's where you stumble. That's where you learn. That's where you grow. And then by the time we get to the tests, the quizzes, the projects, you'll have done so much work within that other realm. You're going to be comfortable. You're going to do really well. I'm a firm believer that if you just are engaged, you're putting forth your best effort, then the grades will just naturally happen. We don't have to worry about, quarter points and half points. We just be, we do what we need to do, and the rest will take care of itself.